there, Galaxy Explorers. Welcome to 13 Things, where today we're jumping into hyperspace and heading to a galaxy far, far away. That's right, we're talking about the original Star Wars film from 1977. So strap in and may the Force be with you as we explore 13 fascinating facts about this cinematic legend. Number 1, A New Hope for Sci-Fi. Star Wars wasn't just a movie, it was a revolution. In 1977, when disco was king and bell-bottoms were all the rage, George Lucas came along and changed the game forever. Before Star Wars, sci-fi was often seen as a niche genre, but this film blasted that idea into space dust. It combined the spectacle of sci-fi with the heart of classic storytelling, appealing to audiences of all ages. It wasn't just about cool spaceships and laser swords, though those were awesome too. It was about heroism, friendship, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. Number 2, The Force of Inspiration. Speaking of epic tales, did you know that George Lucas drew his inspiration from some pretty diverse sources? He was heavily influenced by Akira Kurosawa's samurai films, particularly The Hidden Fortress. Lucas also borrowed elements from Flash Gordon serials, World War II films, and even westerns. Talk about a cultural melting pot in space. Number 3, A Galaxy of Rejected Titles. Believe it or not, Star Wars wasn't always going to be called Star Wars. Lucas went through a bunch of different titles before settling on the one we all know and love. Some of the rejected titles included The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, The Star Wars, and my personal favorite, Adventures of the Starkiller as taken from the Journal of the Whills, Saga 1, The Star Wars. Imagine trying to fit that on a movie poster, or a lunchbox, or a t-shirt. Actually, I'd wear that t-shirt. Number 4, The Birth of ILM. Star Wars didn't just change how we watch movies, it changed how movies are made. To bring his vision to life, Lucas founded Industrial Light and Magic, ILM. These folks weren't just special effects wizards, they were pioneers. They developed new techniques and technologies that are still used in filmmaking today. Without Star Wars, we might not have had the mind-blowing visual effects we see in movies now. Thanks, George. Number 5, A Soundtrack for the Ages. Let's talk about that music for a second. John Williams' score for Star Wars is arguably as iconic as the film itself. From the opening fanfare to the Force theme, Williams created a musical landscape that's instantly recognizable. Fun fact, the American Film Institute ranked it as the greatest film score of all time in 2005. Now that's what I call hitting the right note. Number 6, the Vader voice swap. Here's a shocker for you. James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, isn't credited in the original film. David Prowse wore the suit on set, but his voice was deemed not quite menacing enough. Enter James Earl Jones, whose deep, resonant tones gave us the Vader we know and fear. Jones went on uncredited until 1983. Talk about a force to be reckoned with. Number 7, Harrison Ford, from Carpenter to Scoundrel. Harrison Ford wasn't supposed to be Han Solo. In fact, he wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. Ford was working as a carpenter when George Lucas hired him to read lines with other actors during auditions. Lucas liked Ford's delivery so much that he ended up casting him as everyone's favorite scruffy-looking nerf herder. Now that's what I call a career change. Number 8, the Chewbacca Inspiration. Ever wonder where the idea for Chewbacca came from? Turns out Lucas found inspiration close to home. Chewie was inspired by Lucas's Alaskan Malamute dog, Indiana. Yes, the same Indiana that later inspired Indiana Jones. The dog would often sit in the passenger seat of Lucas's car, looking like a faithful co-pilot. Sound familiar? Number 9, A New Hope for Fox. Star Wars wasn't just a hit. It was a lifesaver for 20th Century Fox. The studio was struggling financially before Star Wars came along. The film's unexpected success not only saved the studio, but propelled it to new heights. talk about the power of the Force. Number 10, the Han shot first controversy. The infamous Han shot first debate. In the original 1977 release, Han Solo shoots the bounty hunter Greedo first in the Mos Eisley Cantina. But in later releases, the scene was altered to make Greedo shoot first. This change sparked a huge debate among fans, leading to a pop culture phenomenon. Han shot first t-shirts, anyone? Number 11, the Trench Run Inspiration. The climactic Death Star trench run? Yeah, that was inspired by real war footage. Lucas used World War II dogfight footage as a reference for the space battles. He even spliced actual World War II film footage into early cuts of the movies to show the effects team what he wanted. Now that's attention to detail. Number 12, a low-budget blockbuster. Believe it or not, Star Wars was made on a relatively modest budget. The film cost about $11 million to make, which was considered low even by 1977 standards. Lucas and his team had to get creative, using everything from old airplane scraps to kitchen appliances to create the lived-in look of the Star Wars universe. One man's trash is another man's Star Destroyer, I guess. Number 13, the legacy continues. Last but not least, let's talk about the incredible legacy of Star Wars. This one film spawned a multimedia empire that includes sequels, prequels, TV shows, books, comics, video games, and enough merchandise to fill a Death Star or two. It's shaped pop culture in ways we're still feeling today, influencing everything from filmmaking techniques to how we tell stories. And there you have it, folks. 13 things about the original Star Wars that prove it's not just a movie, but a cultural phenomenon that continues to captivate audiences over 45 years later. If you enjoyed this journey to a galaxy far, far away, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And remember, the Force will be with you. Always.